Hey everybody, today we are going to be doing a technique tutorial video, however you want to look at it, on how I clean my heat exchanger here in the brew house. Let's straighten this out a little bit. Maybe that was just bugging me. But we just finished brewing right now, and where we're at, we have a line going to the fermenter right here that we were just filling this fermenter. And so that's our runoff line that's coming off of our heat exchanger. And that is attached to the heat exchanger, which is linked up to our kettle. We have a little bit of wort left in the kettle and tube that we weren't able to move through cleanly, that we don't want to be pushing through our heat exchanger, everything like that. So we're going to be dumping that, rinsing lines, and then we're going to clean our heat exchanger forward and backward today with caustic, with a blended caustic product. And we're going to clean that, rinse it. And so this is kind of the end of the brew day when I talk about going from clean to clean. At the beginning of the brew day, the brew house was all clean and ready to go. And when we leave today, the brewery is going to be clean and ready to go. This is my preferred thing to do, and this is how we do it. All right. So let's run up top and take a look at this kettle. Oh, goodness. Well, I could do that. Hey. Let's take a look at this kettle right now. We have some, oh, it's really dark and it might be hard to see. But right now we just have a kettle full of junky trube. We need to flush that. And backflush all the lines, because how we want to start this process of cleaning is we want to get rid of all the soil we can up front with water, hot water, city water, what have you. So yeah, follow along. I think I might do some time-elapse stuff and then voice over with it. I don't know. Let me see. We'll figure it out. All right, so right now, my hot liquor tank source water is right underneath here, and it links up to this kettle drain. And so I just backflush some water in there. Really, the whole idea is I just want to get this pipe works clean. This is going to be specific to my system, so don't necessarily stress exactly what I'm doing. It's just the main concepts, right? I want to get everything that sees wort in this process rinse-free. And this is the most efficient way for me to do that. So I just rinsed through the wort ways, everything on the kettle side. And then now I'm going to push wort through on this side over here. So I have this whole runoff rig over here. So now I'm going to chase hot liquor tank water through the heat exchanger in order to rinse that. And you're going to see this is all dark right now. You can see it through the sight glass here. We're going to knock this stuff all out. This is a block that I use to push no-rinse sanitizer through the heat exchanger and out the lines. And so it's still hooked up, but this tank is closed right here. It's just a clean, sanitary way to get wort into the fermenter without, opening anything up, right? You're just creating one consistent line that everything can stay sealed with. And you can see this water starting to steam over here. Maybe you can see that. And so I am starting to get to some high quality hot liquor tank water, some high quality H2O from the hot liquor tank. So I'm going to cut this right here because I have a lot of soil backed out through here. So we can check box one right now. I have all of my wort ways rinsed. So everything that saw wort, whether it be the whirlpool arm, various pipes to various pumps, different things like that, all that is rinsed through with hot liquor tank water. I'm going to continue that process here in just a second by flushing in reverse the whole system. And really this is explicitly for the hot liquor tank. I want to push hot liquor tank water as hard as I can through that HLT and dump that rinse water as well. So in order to do that, you're gonna see me go down here and detach this line. This is the end of my wort runoff. I'm gonna leave this block right here though. I'm gonna take this over here. And then I have a diverter panel. So you're gonna see me do some things with the diverter panel here real quick. Josh, is this an okay place to be? Okay. He'll make it work. He's a dream. Well, let's just stick with dream for right now. Do you want to kill the fan, please? Please and thank you. Okay, I don't have any pressure behind any of these things. That's good. Every time I'm getting ready to break a union where there's liquid behind it, I usually like to double check that there's no pressure behind it. That would hurt me because I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be hurt again, baby. That's hot. And then this is essentially the bottom of my kettle, and it also shares a common line with the HLT. All right. But again, that's just my system, and that's not the key part. The key part is that we're rinsing through everything, and now rinsing in reverse the heat exchanger. Woo! With the way my brew house is rigged, I can loop this in back here and then push HLT water in reverse through my heat exchanger. So let me open this up. And then what you're gonna be able to see is HLT doing its thing, and you're gonna see how much more dark work comes out of this thing. Because remember, we already flushed it in reverse, but we haven't flushed it forward yet. So this is what's gonna come out of the heat exchanger when I flush it in reverse. And it's gonna come out of this union right here. You can see some yellow liquid coming out. It's a little cloudy right now. Our first rinse was pretty good, but you can still see that it's not like sparkling clear water just yet, and that's kind of what we want to see because this is all HLT water at this point. So I'm going to run this in reverse until it runs clear. Now remember, the whole key up to this stage is just rinsing every wort way free of wort because we don't want to leave excess soil in any of these lines when we try to clean them. Next, I'm gonna kill the HLT pump. I'm gonna close that HLT water access, which for me is right under this door. Can you see? Boom. And then I'm gonna re-rig this to now dump all of the wort trube out of the kettle. Then all of my lines and my kettle are as soil-free as I can make them with hot water, all right? Then we're gonna get some water going, we're gonna get some chemical going, and we're gonna spin this thing, all right? Okay, so I have a line coming off the bottom of my kettle now, and it is pointed to the drain right here. This is part of my, that's right, here. I put a little elbow on there to shoot all of the soil and things down the drain more readily. My kettle has a small standpipe in it that I'm gonna pull so I can rinse out the rest of this thing. But you can see me, I'm gonna open this up right now, and then you'll be able to see all of the stout that wants to pour out of here. Also, this is diluted some as well because I ran some hot liquor tank water back into here. On my system, it's expedient to run a pump at a low speed, which I'm gonna do right now. So it's gonna help chase some of that dirtiness out of here. Then let's go up top. All right, now I'm up top with the kettle, and I'm going to pull this standpipe. I actually leave the standpipe inside to receive the CIP. I'm a little, oh, I got it the first time. So this is the little standpipe that I have. This makes it easier to see. Just the way my kettle is designed, the port for running off is just right in the bottom. So that standpipe helps keep me from pulling a bunch of tube and keeps cleaner work going to the fermenter. So I'm just gonna use a hose right now and rinse out this kettle, and we'll go from there. Okay, now the kettle is soil free. See? As much as you can. There's no light in there, so I can't show you any better. So what I'm gonna do now is I have every wortway and the kettle free of wort and other soil as much as I can with the universal solvent of water. Now, I'm going to be using my kettle as the vessel to hold my chemical. And just like when I'm running essentially a CIP on a fermenter or another tank, the tank itself is the vessel because I don't have a CIP skid. And then I'm going to pump that chemical, properly diluted chemical, proper temperature. In this case, we're running caustic. I'm gonna run this forward and backward through. So in order to do that, I am gonna put a flow meter in line because it's very important to get the appropriate water and chemical concentration for this. So that's what's up next. The rake is on. I can hear it wheezing up there. All right, this is the mobile flow meter that I use in the brewery. It's not on, but it's on. I can hear it going. This is the mobile flow meter that we use here in the brewery. I have another one that just stays built into the brew house for mashing and sparging, but this is the one that we use for water filling, measuring applications for chemical stuff. It's a GPI one. It works pretty well. You can tell maybe it's been dropped. I don't want to put that all on one particular person, even though there was a lovely lady that worked with us in the past who I think maybe dropped it more often than the rest of us. Do you think that's accurate, Josh? Oh, man. So we're just creating a loop here, right? We're just creating a loop to where we're going to be pumping this chemical from the kettle through to the heat exchanger and back to the spray ball in the kettle. So it could look like, and this is just how my system is lined up, it could look like I'm cleaning the kettle, which I am, but I'm most importantly cleaning the heat exchanger. Because if you're like most pub people our size, and you're not doing multiple turns a day and stuff like that, you need to be cleaning every single time you turn. Every single time you turn wort. So let me see, I need to rig this up a little bit differently. And again, this is part of it that's just particular to my process. I have to reroute some of this stuff to make it work for me. I also have to kill this water in the back. So let me do that. I need to jump behind the brew house real quick and cut this water off. It's a little bit of brewer's yoga in order to pull this off. And maybe I can show you and you'll see how ridiculous I look when I jump back between the brew house. There's a shared line back here between city water and the CIP line. So I have to shut the city water off. So that's what I did right there. So now city water does not have access to that just yet. And I'm actually setting up a CIP loop. So I use cartoon wrench to tighten this up. Where am I? Hey, there I am. I'm gonna start filling the kettle with a measured amount of hot liquor tank water and then dosing that with chemical. Zero out the flow meter. All right, we're moving. We got water going through. Big Josh Halpert has already measured up my caustic for me. adding that to the kettle as we speak. For heavy soil like this, I like to couple up this caustic with a booster, which is, I believe, a hydrogen peroxide booster. You can check, it's like an oxidating thing. It does help to create bubbles and or turbulence as you are circulating your chemical. And it does a great job at helping to break down some nasty soil. So talk to your chemical manufacturer about a potentially boost product, a booster product. Maybe theirs is a peroxide-based one as well, hydrogen peroxide-based as well. And you can add that and maybe get a little extra mileage out of your CIP on these heavy soil things. Because I don't think there's anything more heavy soil, more rough on your metals than this hot side work contact. It's just the stickiest, no nonsense stuff. So sometimes that caustic can use a little extra. All right, I'm gonna loop these back together now. Now remember, this line that I'm handling is the runoff line that went from the heat exchanger. So it's seeing cold work and went to the fermenter. And so now I'm gonna be creating a full cleaning loop of every single pathway that wort has touched during the brew day, okay? I do have one more chemical to add up here, which is my boost. And once I do that, we will seal up the top, close my doors, and then all I'm doing right now is just closing the necessary valves and opening up necessary valves to create the CIP loop. And I'm double checking all of that and trying to be careful. Boom. And I think we're ready to rip this thing. For me, I'm gonna run this pump as fast as it goes. Boom. I'm going to verify flow of the liquid here by looking at my sight glass. Oh, my kettle drain needed to be opened. Hopefully that works its way through. Hopefully there wasn't a bubble in there. Looks like I'm moving. And that's the sound I'm used to hearing when that happens. So what I'm gonna do at this point is, I'm gonna go up top. Not everybody's system is going to be like this, but mine is. Mine is a steam jacketed system, and it is plenty happy to let me turn the jackets on for a brief period of time in order to heat up the caustic that is inside of it. So right now, what's circulating in there is roughly maybe 130, 140 degrees. I'm gonna beef that up to 165, and then I'm going to start my cycle. Beef it up. Okay, I am up to temp. I'm going to circ this for 30 minutes. I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to run it in reverse for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna start rinsing. All right, my timer is up on running this heat exchanger forward and backward. And now we're gonna shut it down and we are going to rinse it. First thing I get to do is I get to turn off this really loud pump, which is nice. Rinsing this is the exact same thing as rinsing the wort way and everything else free that we did at the beginning, basically. What we're going to do is I'm going to split these two lines down there that are linked up, the ones that you saw me with the flow meter between when I was measuring water in. I'm going to dump all of the caustic out of the kettle, and then I'm going to rinse that forward and backward. I am going to be rinsing that forward with just the way my system is laid out. I would recommend rinsing it both ways with HLT water. Sometimes your chemical manufacturer will tell you to rinse with different temperatures of water. I would follow their lead as far as that goes. The whole key with all of this is you want to rinse these wort ways, the kettle, the heat exchanger, until the water that you are draining off is pH neutral, or basically the pH of what your city water is, okay? So just kind of a big recap. There's a few main things that we want to be doing while we're cleaning our heat exchanger. One, ideally, we're cleaning it after every turn. And I'm talking for all of us pub brewers, people brewing at home, different things like that, right? Sometimes if you're working in a larger place where they're doing multiple turns in a day, we could have a separate conversation about that. But if you're doing one batch a day, and you really can, I would really encourage you to give everything in your workway heat exchanger, and in this case maybe kettle, because that's a typical way that that goes, is looped on smaller systems like this. Get that stuff clean. Run clean to clean every day. I think it's just the best way to maintain your equipment, all right? But the main idea is to, one, get all of your workways clear, heat exchanger clear, and kettle clear of soil, whether it be trube or wort. I do that with hot liquor tank water, and then I manually spray out the kettle. I will then take a measured amount of water and chemical into whatever my vessel is. For me, in this brewery, it is the kettle. I circulate that chemical as hot as I can, as fast as I can with the pump that I have. And I do beef it up. I do drive that temperature of my chemical up. I can do that with my kettle, maybe with your direct fire kettle or your steam kettle. It doesn't work, it works well on mine. But anyways, beyond that, run for the recommended amount of time, temperature, chemical concentration that your manufacturer suggests, and then make sure to rinse that all until it's pH neutral. I know everybody's system is different, so if you have questions, please drop them down below. As always, I'm not saying my system's perfect or anything like that, but it's the best thing that I can figure with the equipment that I have, and also working with the chemical manufacturer that I use. As always, put any questions down below if you have them. If I didn't cover something well, I'll try to fix it. So give me a shout. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.